welcome, I am ZombieKitty and welcome to another reaction video. So this is, firstly apologies that I'm not in my usual Virgil rushed cosplay thing, but I'm too tired to put any makeup on or anything, so I apologise. But this is my next part in my Sandicides reaction series, and this is one that you guys have actually been asking me to react to for a while. I somehow missed this, I do apologise for that. This is called Selfishness versus Selflessness Redux. So, from what I remember, the Selfishness versus Selflessness one, was that the court case with Deceit and the other sides? I think that's the one it was. But yeah, this is called Putting Others First. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say. So let's go.
Thomas! Oh my gosh, you made it! We're so happy to see you!
How you doing, you beautiful man?
Oh, this was him deciding... No.
Oh, I'm sorry for calling you beautiful. That was weird. My bad.
Oh.
You could call me beautiful Mary Lee.
I always do beautiful.
Yeah, was this was the video to do with whether he had an audition book, didn't he, and whether to go to that or his friend's wedding.
What's new, Thomas? Anything exciting going on in your life?
Hey, you okay, buddy? You look real sad in this photo I just took.
Oh.
I'll crop you out.
Now we have the couple for their first dance.
Oh, sorry, Thomas. Gotta go.
It was so great seeing you.
Yeah. I think that's what it was from what I remember. Ooh! The tune sounds different. March 31st.
Got a callback for an Alfred Hitchcock Lucas movie.
Yeah, it was.
April 13th. He has a prior engagement that day.
Yeah, it was
Nobody's
this.
Perfect. Except for Thomas. He loves his
What's going
friends.
on?
I want to go to the callback. I hereby sentence you to 1 day at the St. Clifford's Chapel on the day of Lee and Mary Lee's wedding. What the fuck,
Okay,
everybody?
so I
Now,
appreciate
kiddo,
that there's
if you're gonna dish
like
out
a...
gifts, why don't we make them friendly hugs?
Okay.
F friends, Patton. Wait,
Don't swear.
You're talking about friendly hugging your friends. No! Thomas, you should never... I mean, I always thought that when it came to your pals, that sort of language would be... ineffable. Oh, it's very effable. It's effable as F. With a situation this... Stop! You're not at all... excited for them? With so much F use thrown about, I
So is there
doubt
going to be
there's
like
much people
8-bit
FUs
sounds and like
about.
visuals
What
and
do you
stuff in
mean?
this?
Am I not... Okay.
Also,
You know
I've
what?
tried to record this
Let's go through the
section,
review. Let's
like
do
once
that.
again,
I hope
like
we
3 or
run
4
like this the
times.
whole way through. I hope so too. Yoo-hoo!
I've heard this little
let's
tiny
start with the
bit
fact
so
that the
much.
wedding was a total
Ooh.
bust. It was. It's just that going didn't pay off quite like we discussed.
Oh,
You
little
think
wall
that
looks
going to a
cute,
wedding
though.
to support your friends would have any sort of self-serving as
This is
But
cool.
how about more than just hello? Yeah, something's iffy.
It's nice to get past the first few seconds without it constantly buffering. Oh god, I've jinxed it. It's going to do that now, isn't it?
We four had helped you make the proper choice of wedding over your... Spare me the rest. Yes, but callback for a film that could have been my break. Yeah, you could say. And no one wanted you to go more than that slimy snake who pushed to do the egocentric thing.
You know, that's a difficult decision to make between the two.
If our goals aligned with this, what would that say? I felt forsaken. You were saying that we both have lost our way. But in your face I saw this pain, and so I made this choice. And now I have a restless head. In my bed, I'll just feel this.
Yeah, but it's a difficult decision to make.
They just watched as his bride ran away. But you're gay. I'm saying I feel right. You may not tonight, but in time you might. I don't know. I think this feeling's here
Yeah.
to stay. It is a pity to admit he could have done more than just sitting at that wedding feeling. Quit reviewing. Okay.
No, but...
Boy, how could such an
yeah.
upsetting conversation happen in such a fun way? Oh, why didn't they just talk to us more? Wait a minute. Why didn't I just talk to them?
Yeah,
Before the
you
wedding?
could have done that at the start.
I mean,
Puppy.
I kind of brought that up before, but it got shut down.
Yeah,
faster
you
than
did,
Antarctica
actually, I
ice popped out,
think.
so- Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. I could have just told them everything. If my one interaction with them was any indication, they obviously wouldn't have cared if I wasn't there at all. Maybe so. Are you having second thoughts about choosing to go to the wedding, Roman? Oh, no. Of course not. I just
But
wish we could have known how they felt. Maybe it could have,
yeah.
I don't know, made things a little easier for us. Well, you know, hindsight is 20/20, so. Okay, but if you're a sighted person with less than 20/20 vision, you don't just ignore whatever you see in front of you. I see. We should start looking into ways to predict the future. No,
that's not.
Mary,
No.
what I'm saying is I know Lee and Mary Lee. I can predict how they might act in specific situations. I know that they are very understanding people, and I should have used that knowledge. That would have been using foresight. But I didn't do that, so I made a decision with a blindfold on.
Yeah,
But
you
in
should have
Patton's
discussed it,
defense,
talked to them
people
beforehand.
are complicated, fickle things, aren't they? You think you know someone, and then wham! Out of nowhere, they fill your apartment with feral cats, and now you're somehow responsible for the vet
I feel like
bills?
that's
You've gotta
really
give them away, but
specific.
despite your cat allergy, you've endeared yourself to them, especially to Mrs. Snuffles.
Roman,
Like
what have
Mrs.
you been
Sniffles,
through?
Because of the allergy.
Yeah, this is really
Your point
specific.
being, foresight isn't really the most reliable tool that we have. Cool, so we don't use it at all? We did use it. You've known Lee and Mary Lee for most of your life, and they've always lent a helping hand when you needed it. That's true. When your car broke down an hour out of town, who was the only person willing to come out and give you a jump? Mary Lee. I don't know what good she thought jumping would do. What you needed was somebody to
No,
fix
that's
your
not-
car. And
that's
Lee
not what he meant.
always had my back in high school after I came out. Exactly. Now here, they met up with you face to face to tell you about their wedding engagement. Biggest day of their lives.
And you should have
they
discussed
asked
it
you
with
if
them.
you could be there. I wasn't even like a groomsman or anything.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Lee's fault that he has so many brothers. Catholics and Catholics, those baby-making Catholics. You don't have the first clue how it would make them feel. You thinking about giving their wedding a pass, all because of a callback that really might not work out.
I mean,
not that you're
yeah.
not a talented guy. No, yeah. Dame Judi Dench, or as I like to call her, Queen Groovy Bench, didn't land her first big Hollywood movie role until she
I
was
mean, they also have a point
61.
as well. There's no
So,
guarantee that he would
maybe they
have
understand.
succeeded.
But maybe they still really want you to go to the wedding and feel too guilty to say so. Or maybe you end up going to the wedding and they feel guilty seeing you there because they feel like they took a big opportunity away from you. But they wouldn't have felt that way. But we didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know.
Foresight
You didn't
means
say
thinking
anything.
about every possibility. Talking to them about it
Yeah.
could have been harmful.
Yeah, but again, you don't know
And this
that.
was our chance to be there for them when it counted. Was not talking to them worth it, though? I don't know. Whatever happened to karma? you
Yeah.
know? You do something good, good stuff happens to you. Right, yeah. Why is the saying, karma's a bitch? Why can't it be, karma is a very fair person?
Yeah.
Why does their complexion matter? Well, Keno, unfortunately, life isn't always like your video games. Sometimes you
that
can make
explains
all
the
the good
8-bit,
choices
like, sounds
and
and stuff.
still not get the good ending. I don't know if there even was a good ending to get. I'm pretty sure there was.
That's not.
Which nobody
Yeah,
can
that's got
deny.
nothing to do with
Nobody
this.
can deny. Roman, that actually does sound jolly good.
Yeah, but it's got
I mean,
nothing to
sure,
do
it
with what they're
does
talking
sound
about.
Very jolly, and we can all agree that you are a good fellow. Can we all agree on that? Yes, I can. We can.
Well,
Okay. I understand now that I have been a little much the mayor of Muchkinland. Sure. When it comes to giving Thomas the third degree on his integrity. Right. And yeah, it is my job to keep you on Santa's nice list.
okay, but
I haven't been making you feel very nice.
Yeah.
I don't want to make you think you're some stupid, dirty, rotten, filthy, silly, Billy, no good for nothing, white, rat, scoundrel bitch. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Roman, for your
stop.
help. You're welcome.
Yeah,
I'm done
stop.
asking is Thomas a good person? I'm just here now to help you be as good at good as a good bud should. Okay, well, that's a
Yeah.
relief. I think. So yeah, you are a good fella, but not every good fella gets a big award. Only Joe Pesci. Well, what do we get? Sometimes it's just this. A bagel? What? No, maybe. No, nothing. It's nothing. Oh, sometimes you can't get anything because a lot of the time, people need something more than you do. Like, let's say you pass by some sort
Oh,
of
it looks like Pokemon.
stop where you can buy games. A game store.
Okay.
You mean the internet? I'm not going to. Oh, come on, Roman. Video games mean so much indoor time that they should cost a little outdoor time, don't you think? Anyway, you see a poster for the latest installment in the Frogger franchise.
Oh God,
You're such a
that's
dad.
one.
Buddy,
Yeah, that's one I
Frogger's
haven't
not
heard in a
really
long time.
Big thing anymore. And they're missing out. There is no
Yeah,
video
Frogger's
game
great.
character as cool as Frogger. Heck, he eats fly for breakfast.
Oh my
And trying
God.
to cross a busy road
Really?
without losing his froggy life. Woo.
Frogger's a
About
fun
riveting.
game.
Like, you're such a dad that it's too much to handle sometimes. Anyway, everyone's raving about the new Frogger. Best one
Okay.
yet. Amazing graphics. At least 16 graphics.
Do you even know what you're saying right now?
And
Yeah, you don't know what you're
hey,
talking
it's
about.
on sale for about, I don't know, as much as a hot dog is worth. Patton, that's how much you get when you return a game. You
Yeah, where's the line
As you
with
walk
that?
up to the door, you're stopped by a homeless, down-on-his-luck actor, and he... Who is it? Whoever you want. Oh, come on, Patton. How is Thomas
Come
supposed
on,
to
use
feel
your
empathy
imagination
for this
here.
person if he has no one to visualize? Alrighty, it's,
Okay.
Leslie Odom Jr. What? Why Leslie? I need backstory for this. What happened, Patton? I don't know.
That's
He
not the
spilled his
point.
drink
He's
on
trying to
Stephen
make an
Sondheim at a
example
party,
or
and Sondheim
something.
said, gosh darn it, Leslie. You'll never work in this razzle-dazzle town again. He should just move to another town, right? Wow, this hypothetical version of Stephen Sondheim sounds like a real mother crupper. So,
Yeah, this
Mr.
isn't-
Odom Jr.
move
tells you
along,
that
get
he's
to the point.
very hungry, and he points you to a nearby hot dog vendor. It's just a
Okay.
few yards away. By the liquid lipstick of William Shakespeare, a hot dog would cost Thomas his entire Frogger fund. It's all coming together. What do? Pretend you're talking on the phone so he leaves you alone? Tell him, I don't have any money, Leslie. Hightail it the heck out of here. Buy him a hot dog, or do you hightail it the heck out of there?
I love the Pokemon layout.
We want this Frogger game.
Yeah, you do. You
It was
woke
really
up
cute.
at 6 a.m. dull to go and get it. 6 a.m. dull? Do you mean sharp?
Sharp,
No,
yeah.
that's really early for you. So you weren't quite able to get out of bed until like 6:08. Well, regardless, of course I buy him the hot dog. So you mustered up
Yeah,
the
I remember
will
being
to
at
give him a
uni,
dinner that he could
waking up
relish.
early
Only,
for, like, a
when
game.
he takes the hot dog, he walks away without
I'd never do it
thanking you.
now.
What do you do now? Do you say, you're welcome, in a way that lets him know you think he was rude? Do you prompt him by saying, what do you say? Do you physically take the hot dog back? Or do you go about your day?
I mean,
You just
there's an
accept it and go
obvious
about
right
your day.
answer.
Please don't tell me you're going to wrestle Tony Award-winning actor Leslie Odom Jr. for a hot dog.
What? No.
No.
I'm gonna go about my day.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Even though he
Like,
didn't say thank you, he doesn't have to. Just like you didn't have to get him a hot
Peyton,
dog.
are you pretending to be...
I feel like
Hang
you
on,
do,
are
though.
you...
Maybe. You don't need the new Frogger. Well, no one
Okay.
needs a new Frogger. Why do you think Thomas has to give the money, Patton? Well, because that money was going to a luxury item.
I
In
can't
that
help but
situation,
feel like
it's so
Patton
easy. It's
is actually
all right
Deceit
in
once
front of you.
again.
A hungry person comes up to you and says, I need food. And the food I need is right there. You have the money. And it
Okay.
wasn't going to something you needed. You can disagree. But I feel like it might be kinda wrong to keep the money for yourself. Mamma mia! Jesus Christ, superstar! What is that?
Yeah, where did that...
I've taken this form because I didn't want to be too invasive.
You very
That's
much did
really
not
cute.
succeed. What you doing, Logan?
Well, determining what feels right or wrong for you isn't really my area of expertise. Seeing how
This is
there's
so
not
cute.
much left at stake at this juncture, and that regret, unfortunately, is a process that can't be expedited, I decided that I need not expend too much energy on this matter. However, I felt that
Okay.
it would behoove all parties involved if I provided relevant information. to serve as supporting evidence to any of the arguments that are made during today's discussion.
Okay.
Oh, so you're making your little factoids optional this time around.
Factoid is a term coined by Norman Miller.
Oh
to
my
describe
God.
false facts invented from
Logan, you don't
magazines
have
in
to
order
be literal,
manipulate
it's okay.
readers. And yes, I suppose they could be viewed as optional, your two options being informed or ignorant.
Oh, I've got this one, guys.
Okay.
I'm just,
You just wanted to press
I'm
the
just kidding.
button.
Roman, you shouldn't push people's buttons. Enough joking around, Roman. Come on, Roman. Jesus Christ, sorry.
Thank you,
Okay.
Thomas.
Oh! Guess I won't be wrestling a hot dog away from Logan. Cause he thanks me.
The little image on the
I'm
left,
sorry.
on the bottom left.
Please go ahead, Logan. Oh, holy hero, we gotta read.
Oh,
it would be an
God.
estimated annual cost of $20 billion
Oh,
to
no, you don't
eliminate
have to read all
homelessness in
this.
the United States. According to Mark Johnston, the act... lost all that. Okay.
Yep, it's going by
by
too quickly.
on Christmas decorations and flowers every year, so it would seem that many Americans who have the currency to spare.
Oh my God,
to
the
end
subtitles
homelessness
are
in the United
nuts
States
as well.
forever. Whew, okay. I'm not doing that again. I am
No,
sorry.
that was
too
a bit
fast. Can
much.
you- one more time, Roman. Huh. Yeah, I guess everyone doing their small part for those in need could make a difference. Yeah, and even if I can't change things on my own, something as little as briefly helping a greatly troubled, prodigious actor would still give me more pleasure than playing Frogger. Well, yeah.
I
It's
love that
Frogger we're
Logan
talking
just
about.
tried
It's
to
not like Kingdom
talk,
Hearts.
and
Yeah,
everyone just
as long
ignored
as
him.
that's not the main reason
I don't
we're
even know
doing
what
it.
he was saying.
What? Oh, well, you shouldn't do a good thing just because it makes you feel good. I think. You literally said the opposite to Deceit when we were back in the courtroom.
Yeah, I
did. But we all agreed that in that situation,
we've seen
the
this
right thing to do
before.
was go to the wedding, which didn't feel good at all. So, yeah, I was wrong. Not to mention, Deceit said that you'd be doing the right thing for a selfish reason if you did it for your own emotional gain. And you agree?
I kind of get where he's
Definitely.
coming from with that one,
Maybe?
though.
Great. I love that movie. I mean, you know, I think so. What do you think? Oh, well, I think we all know I'm not exactly an expert
No.
in the moral medium. No, go ahead, Roman.
No,
I'd
but
like to
what's
hear
your
from you.
opinion?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know
Okay.
how much it matters why you do something. What do you mean? Oh, it was nothing. It was stupid.
No, keep going,
please
because I think
continue.
you're on.
Yeah,
I think he's onto something.
I'm sorry, Roman. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, say a very handsome prince. Who's the prince? I don't know. Yeah, Leslie Odom Jr.
Okay, here we go again.
Oh, guess what, son? I couldn't keep him down. Yeah, that's right.
Yep,
From
here we go
homeless and
again.
royally screwed to castle-dwelling royalty, dude. Just your typical Tuesday. Anyway, Leslie offers up a reward. What's the reward? Leslie's famous cake. Phrasing. What?
Okay.
Leslie's literal cake that he baked. Oh my God. He offers it to whosoever is able to rescue his kingdom from the clutches of the astute
This is so
tyrant
cute.
who is
Oh my
currently
God, it's
occupying
Bowser.
said kingdom. Even if someone
Logan
rescued the
occasionally.
kingdom
Oh,
for
hang on!
the
I didn't
reward,
notice the Deceit
I don't know.
image in the
I
background.
just feel like it doesn't make much of a difference so long as all of the denizens are liberated. Huh? That is something that I don't know if it's right. You don't know if it's a good thing that everyone was saved? Wow, Patton, way to be a side
Yes?
with valid doubts about a complex moral issue. Of course, I think it's good that the kingdom is safe. That's great. The most important thing.
Okay.
But, you know, the people in this kingdom are suffering at the slimy hands of this reptilian rapscallion. I was just blanking on the word guy, but, you know,
Yeah,
sure,
same
people
thing.
are
Yeah.
being hurt by this reptilian with scallions. No, and this person doesn't care about them? They just want to earn some reward? That doesn't sound like a very good person to me. Yeah, probably not. Fair enough, but I wouldn't even argue for that much. Saving people for a reward is totally different from helping someone out just because it feels nice to help. Like, if the person in Roman's scenario saved the kingdom just because it
Logan,
made
no
them
one's
feel
talking.
good, then
No one's paying
one would
attention
argue
to
that they
what
aren't
you're
a good
doing, what you're
person.
saying.
I mean, maybe not.
Am I not allowed to feel good if I do something
I was
good?
instructed to perform all fights within
Of
one day.
course you
It was
are.
found that groups being seen of
It's
which
just
performed act of
not-
kindness. So
Why you
this
do
going
it?
too quickly.
I-
Logan, sorry, I am not
But,
pausing
I mean,
for you.
your morality. You're the guy who makes that call. So why do we do it? Well, you don't do it because it makes you feel good. You do it because it's the right thing to do. Okay. How do we know it's the right thing to do? You just know. Yeah. Okay. That's not exactly the kind of answer I was hoping for, bud. Well, it's
Okay.
kind of just in all of us.
I'm
you
sorry,
know?
I got distracted by what
Why
Logan
is
was
killing
trying to
and
say.
stealing illegal everywhere? Why do we all agree
Did
that
you
that's
just say,
not
is
okay
it?
to do? I think it all comes back to empathy. Humans
Ah.
understand each other. We know what feels good and what causes pain. If a whole kingdom is in danger, well, everyone kind of knows that the right thing to do, if you can save a large group of innocent people, is save them. Well, okay.
Okay.
What about, let me ask you this. What if you can only save the large group of people by hurting another
Oh,
innocent
here we
person?
go. The trolley
That causes
problem.
pain, but you said the right thing to do is to save the group? Can't hurt an innocent person.
But what if they're both innocent? Yeah.
Constructive
Okay
criticism,
then.
you know?
The
maybe not
scenario
to
was
pick
an
scenarios
illustration
where
of the
my
classic
friends die.
philosophical
Okay.
problem, the trolley problem.
I'm
Yes,
really
so this is
not
what I was
trying
just
to argue
saying.
with you, Patton, but you said everyone
Yeah,
knows
Logan, we
that
know,
it's
sorry.
right to save
We
innocent
know.
people when you can. Is that not always true? Well, not when it's like that.
I can't pay attention to
It's
Logan's
never
text at the
okay
same
to
time as
hurt an
listening to them.
innocent person. So that rule trumps the other rule.
I'm so sorry,
No,
there's
I
so
used the T
many-
word in this house. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
So the rule
We don't
about
use the
not
T
hurting
word, we
people
don't say Trump.
overrules
You know, fair enough.
the rule about saving people. Yeah,
There
that
you
makes
go.
sense, right?
Yeah, sorry, there was so much
what
text
about
going
the
on
people
whenever
that got
Logan
hurt?
pops up, so I apologise that I'm not always reading
was
that
a
at the same
terrible
time.
tragedy that you couldn't do anything about. But you could have done something. You could have redirected the train. But that something wasn't an okay thing to do. Okay, so it's not about the end result then. It's about the how.
I feel like it's about
how
both.
you do whatever you do. Right. The how. And the why. You don't let the train hit the group of people because you think they deserve to get hit more than the one person.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
I am so sorry.
Did you break my blinds?
I popped up too close there.
Thanks, Rowan.
Ooh,
You really cut the tension
that
there.
was cool.
You okay? Oh yeah, I'm great.
You sure?
No, I'm good.
I
Big with
forgot
the
he got
imagination,
he
so
got a
okay.
sword in the previous
So, about the whole why.
video.
What is a good why when it comes to why I should do good? I know you said earlier
Okay.
you do it because it's right. So, I guess what I'm asking is, what do I do it for? What's the outcome? What motivates me? I mean, I don't have all the answers, but I would say putting more good into the world. I wish that was a more satisfying answer, but it just isn't.
I mean,
You know, I'm not doing a really great job explaining this philosophy. Logan,
No, but I feel like
what
you're
would a
getting
real philosopher think about
somewhere.
what I'm saying here?
Well, Friedrich Nietzsche really wouldn't have been thrilled with anything you've had to say. Primarily because
No, but I feel like
pity
they're
seems to
onto
be at the center
something.
of your idea of putting good into the world.
That's not what
Nietzsche famously rejected the notion that pity was a virtue. He once claimed that pity runs counter to the instincts that preserve and enhance the value of life. So Thomas is...
Well, you can't exactly learn how to care
Yeah,
about
you're
others
not-
from a book, can you?
I love the way that
Okay,
just happened.
I mean, I don't really
Yeah, he
agree
wasn't
with
really exactly a big help there.
Mustache Meister either. He does
But he
have a
hasn't. But Logan did say that he's not really the one former role. He's more for logic.
Empathy is good. But I really don't understand what I need to change so that I can
meet your standard of having the right motivation. I think I understand.
Okay.
Your desires are getting in the way. The problem is, in all honesty, that you want to spend your money on that new Frogger game more than you want, or even think, to give your money to the homeless. And that you wanted to go to that callback more than you wanted to support your friends. The blame falls to me if you're missing that do-gooder drive. I think it's because I'm in the driver's seat, and I'm an awful driver. Perhaps I can let Patton take the wheel. Roman, I only mean well when I say that is the stupidest thing you've ever said. No, you're just blowing smoke. Really, Roman, it's the opposite. I need you on my team more than anyone. If we're talking about a drive or Thomas's will, then there's honestly no side more helpful than you. I mean, I guess. But I get why Roman's confused. Patton, I don't know what form the drive you're talking about would take.
Okay.
Everything I do is motivated by some sort of feeling. I eat because I feel hungry. I drink because I feel thirsty. I don't know what feeling would motivate me to go out and do good if not some sense of self-satisfaction. The only thing I'm feeling right now is guilt over the things that do motivate me. Which kind of makes me not want to do anything. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry about whatever I said to make you feel that way. Doing nothing is even worse. What? Never mind. I'm sorry. Worse? Worse than what? I don't know if I should say. You might as well. I'm kind of scared too. Look, Patton,
About what?
I already feel bad, so I'd rather not feel bad and confused. Doing nothing is worse than doing a good thing for the wrong reasons. Like, we talked about how
Okay.
I think it's good to give your money to a good cause if you were planning to spend it on something you don't need. And I feel like the same principle kind of goes for spending time.
Okay.
Maybe time spent serving up knuckle sandwiches to bad guys in a video game could maybe be better spent serving up soup and sandwiches to the hungry in a local shelter.
I have a difference of opinion on this one, Patton.
Thank you, Logan.
I'm sure
Okay.
we're all familiar with the somewhat tired metaphor for self-care. You must put on your own oxygen mask before helping your fellow passenger. An analogy that warns against the practice of helping others with their personal issues when you yourself are in need of help.
I do need help.
It's ironic that illustration's so overused at this point because it has almost become as easy to tune out that advice as it is to tune out the actual safety instructions on a flight. Easy and very dangerous. In the event that a plane cabin becomes depressurized, you do not have long to secure your oxygen mask before you risk your oxygen saturation levels dropping too much, leading to hypoxia, which is just insufficient oxygen for life functions. Hypoxia symptoms can include an inability
I'm
to
trying to keep
communicate,
up with this.
confusion,
You're talking so
unconsciousness, and
quickly.
possible death.
3 out of 4 of those are normal for me. Do I have hypoxia right now?
Having heard a
What?
piece of information before does not
Yeah,
give
sorry,
you
this is
license
going by
to
so
ignore it in
quickly.
the future, especially
But I
when the
guess
consequences of
that kind of
forgetting
makes
are
sense to
so
a video game
perilous.
text.
Logan, I completely agree with you. But I really don't see how that relates to what we're talking about. Yeah, Logan, like you said earlier, this isn't really your area of expertise. Patton never said
Logan
Thomas
even
couldn't
said it
help
wasn't his
himself,
expertise.
Especially in a situation as dire as putting on his oxygen mask in a ground-bound plane. Of course I wouldn't say that. I've agreed in the past that Thomas should take the time to make sure he's doing okay and to temporarily put himself first if he needs to.
And just like all of the moral dilemmas we've been discussing, it can seem easy to confidently state what you would do in a difficult situation without legitimately knowing how you would behave when your instincts take over. In theory, you believe Thomas can and should take some time to care for himself, but every point you've made in today's discussion has contradicted that sentiment.
What?
Oh.
I don't think video games versus community service is a threat to Thomas taking care of himself.
Nearly every answer Patton has given to the moral questions throughout this discussion has suggested that a moral life is a life without spending surplus capital and time on leisure activities. Dr. Robert A. Stebbins defined leisure as activity engaged in during free time which people want to do and actually do in either a satisfying or a fulfilling way or both. Leisure means experiencing freedom. It's your time and you do what you want with it, which in turn contributes to a feeling of control and improved self-esteem. A lack of control and self-esteem are two factors that you all now understand can worsen Thomas's relationship with intrusive thoughts, and they have. Additionally, Drs. Iwasaki, Messina, and Hopper wrote that leisure time promotes a joyful life. And if that isn't enough, pleasurable activities stimulate the production of neurochemicals which can then improve one's physical health. Leisure is something that Thomas needs more of in his life in order to feel like he has a life. And Patton is essentially suggesting that Thomas isn't being as good of a person as he'd like him to be if he doesn't sacrifice his life for others.
Whoa! That is not what I said.
Oh, is it not? Please.
I mean, it is
correct me if
kind
I'm
of,
wrong.
yeah, it is kind of what you've been saying throughout this whole video, though.
Or in others, you don't think Thomas should give his life up.
Whoa,
Oh, and this other person is an innocent little lamb.
Okay,
Or how about a group of innocents?
I don't... Actually, I would like to know, Patton, what should Thomas do in that kind of situation? I don't know!
Maybe! It's okay, please!
What the hell?
People who lay down their lives for others as the greatest heroes, so I don't know.
You don't know? Earlier you suggested that all people...
He's turned into a
naturally
giant
understand
frogger.
Right and wrong. So, should Thomas die so that others may live?
Yes, I mean, maybe, or maybe not. What do
It's
I
not
know?
a yes and no question, it's dependent on the situation.
Or Leslie's.
By the slow wit of Heracles Patton, leave Leslie out of this one!
But how is Thomas supposed to feel empathy for this person if he has no one to visualize?
Is there no one else he can feel empathy for?
You're right, Roman. Thomas's life, or Lee and Mary Louise.
Oh my god.
What do you say, Thomas? I don't know the right answer here. It's up to you.
There isn't a right and wrong answer, though. Yeah, there isn't a right and wrong
This
answer.
isn't working. This entire conversation
It's
has become
dependent
so
on the
muddled
situation.
due to a constant misleading misuse of conscientious language. You'll need a sharp side to
Hey.
do all this bull.
Hello?
Frog, a sort of subterfuge specialist. The Lord of the Lies.
Hey, there he is.
Whoop, whoop! Reptilian, 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 reptilian! We got a code yellow!
Deceit.
What have you done
The-
with Logan? Nothing at all, and I resent the question. Hold on! What are you talking about, Deceit? Who's misleading who? Patton's misleading you.
Frogwash. I may be amphibian, but I can't say that I am fibbing.
That's richer than Jeff Bezos coming from the self-proclaimed Lord of the Lies. Dude, keep it up with the wordplay. It never gets old. He didn't mislead you on purpose, Thomas. I don't think the little guy or the big frog is...
Yeah, why is he still a frog?
He may have just threatened the life of Broadway's original Aaron Burr himself, but you leave our rosy-cheeked riveter alone. Patton, I'm loving this new direction that you're going with your rhetoric, sprinkling in a few maybes, who knowses, or...
This
What
episode
do
is
you
absolutely
think?
insane.
What are you doing?
Because I found out that I was being too tough on Thomas, and it was driving him hopping mad. So, I tried to share my thoughts in a softer way.
Right, because making Thomas feel inadequate for not dying in someone else's stead isn't tough at all. Here's the thing, Patton. Pushy is pushy. That faux flexible rhetoric that you're using to soften your approach doesn't change your intentions. It just disguises them. That was just a hypothetical. Patton's not actually suggesting that Thomas should pursue martyrdom.
Right, I don't want Thomas to croak. That's my job.
We're talking about what if, worst case scenario kind of stuff.
What I am saying is Thomas has a really good life that other people don't. You're over there talking about putting on your oxygen mask before helping another passenger, but we're not in a crashing plane. If the situation was that serious, then sure, he can focus entirely on himself. But does he deserve it? I don't know. Man, I don't know if I can believe whatever you tell me. Treating yourself is something that you can take too far.
You can take anything too far, Patton.
Yeah.
You've taken things too far. The plane is going down. You need to give Thomas some room to breathe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Patton was making things really complicated and confusing.
No, Patton, what are you saying? We can still beat him. We've beaten him before. Ow! Sorry, I have not looked in this direction the whole time. Don't give up now. No. He's right. I'm bringing this plane down. What? How? He's the actual snake on the plane. And I,
Nice
for one,
reference.
am tired of this morality-fighting snake on this metaphorical
No, but for
plane.
once,
You know, I'm
I-
actually glad you brought up the oxygen mask illustration
I
again,
get where
Patton.
Deceit
that
is coming
means
from with
you're
this
not
case,
glad,
though.
right? Of course not. He's just trying to build up a false confidence in you so that you can plummet to even greater depths. That does sound like a very funny, wholesome prank, but no, mean it. The idea is that you need not reach for your oxygen mask unless the plane is crashing. But when you apply that logic to real life, the analogy falls apart. A plane going down is an emergency. But self-care shouldn't be put off until you experience a mental health crisis.
Yep.
Mental health management is a little more like training to be a lifeguard. You have to spend time practicing and preparing and building up your strengths so that when you're inevitably faced with an emergency, you're better equipped to handle it.
Wait, but you just used a job that's all about helping others as a metaphor for me putting myself first.
Yeah, Joy! I realized that before you brought it up. Just as I'm sure you realize a metaphor someone makes up on the spot isn't going to be perfect. How about this? So,
No, but I
in
get
some
what he's
days,
saying.
you
Like, for
have to
once
use
I
your
agree
turn
with
to give yourself a
Deceit.
power boost or to heal
I
yourself.
love that they're using
And
different
even
video
though that move only
game,
benefits
different
you,
video game
it
styles for like examples.
ultimately makes you a
It's really
more
cool.
helpful party member. Oh, shit.
Not that any of you care, but I'm in heart, and I don't want to talk about it. I'm just here to deliver one last fact, and I will do you all a favor and spare you my company.
Oh, look.
Okay.
Peter Singer is an Australian philosopher and activist who champions the movement known as effective altruism. The primary feature that
Okay.
differentiates effective altruism from other moral philosophies is its practicality. It employs the heart and the mind so that effective altruism can earn its namesake and actually be effective. The aim is to help as many people as possible while maintaining a perfectly adequate standard of living. So, a poor, sick person giving 5 of their last 15 cents to an aid organization, while incredibly altruistic, is not effective altruism because that money won't go very far, and the act would only harm that person's already unacceptable standard of living. Fellow effective altruist William McCaskill recommends that people who can, and are inclined to, should go into fields like banking or finance because more money earned means more money to give.
Right, like I said, I need to give myself a buff so that I can better help others.
And you need to maintain an adequate standard of living. You can't forget that part. If the variety of generosity that you subscribe to leaves you feeling depressed or like your life isn't your own, then you need to reevaluate things.
What do you know? If it came down to video games or volunteering at a local shelter, it actually might be okay to prioritize gaming sometimes, if video games are an essential ingredient in your recipe for self-care. Emphasis on the sometimes, though, right? We should still try to help those in need. Whatever, Sheriff, that's your thing. I mean, totally, yes, of course. But
No, sometimes I think.
mental health should be regarded with the same life or death attitude as physical health.
Yeah.
You've been taught to feel guilty for taking care of yourself.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
You were also taught that Christopher Columbus was a pretty cool guy. A lot of your education was
course, forgive the pun. So what? We're supposed to do a complete 360 and head right back into Selfish City? You mean a 180? Don't you talk to me about math. You're not Fogan anymore. That's Faux Logan. If you're too slogan, you're right. So, why don't we move on to something we're both familiar with, Roman? Mistakes. I was actually very impressed with you. You made such a noble sacrifice. Don't try to flatter me, Snake. I don't
Where is
need
this
to flatter
going?
you now, Roman. I mean this. You, in particular, made a significant sacrifice when you sentenced Thomas to attend the wedding instead of the callback. That was a costly choice. Thomas lost a huge opportunity and a good amount of mental health points.
What
in
are
the
these
name
subtitles
of being
doing?
there for his friends. He didn't get anything out of it other than a new high score in Word Crush. That's the closest to an act of true selflessness that I believe is possible. And look, it served no one. Lee and Mary Lee seem to have appreciated Thomas showing face as much as they would have appreciated any other guest's attendance. So if they gained nothing, and we lost something, then it was a net loss.
Yeah, compared to
So
the
maybe
audition.
Selflessness isn't always the answer. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
like what I was
that's
saying earlier, it depends
over
on the
and done with,
situation.
so what now? You need to unlearn that selfish is a dirty word. And for your sake, you need to start practicing a little more selfishness. In moderation, as all things should be.
Yes.
Well, almost all things. What do you mean by almost all things? You're right. We wouldn't want to plant too many trees. Just think of all the CO2 that might be absorbed. Huh?
Sorry, I was trying to
Well,
listen
when
to
is
the
it in-
music because it suddenly said on the subtitles.
Trees? No, selfishness! How long must we act selfishly until Thomas is ready to start putting more good into the world? A good question for another time. But I'm sure
Yeah.
you'd have us believe that that time will never come. And
No,
even
it
if
will.
it does,
We just don't
what's
know.
to stop you from telling us that we've done enough good for others, when maybe we could do more? Oh, Thomas dropped a dime in the St. Jude charity box. What
Yeah,
a
but you
good
don't
boy
know.
are,
You
Thomas.
just
Nay, I
you
say.
can't know
We are
because that's
ethically
predicting the
compromised
future.
if we give the Bananaconda a seat at the table.
Bananaconda.
I don't know that we are. We can't trust him. He's asking us to go back on things we've known for years. Rights and wrongs. Shoulds and shouldn'ts.
Yeah,
How
but in this
can we trust
situation,
him?
Deceit has a point.
I don't have a simple answer to that question. But here's a start.
Okay.
My name.
Oh?
My name is Janice.
Hey, that's where it is.
Janice? What are you, a middle school librarian?
Oh, for God's
stupid
sake. No,
Roman,
let him
thank
have his
God
moment.
you don't have a mustache. Otherwise, between you and Remus, I would know who the evil twin is.
Oh,
Are you guys seriously going to take his side? No, over me? Thomas,
uh,
I thought I was your hero. You are. Wow. I can't believe this. Did you forget that he's evil? You're not. Or you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be good. You can't. Roman, everything's gonna be okay, kiddo. We love you. Right. Janice,
what
do
happened?
you think there's a limit on how many times someone can say sorry before you have to admit that they're just bad for you? Oh, definitely not. I'd love for someone to ruin Thomas's entire life one apology at a time. Okay. The reality is that it depends on what, where to start. How many things have they had to apologize for? How frequently do they have to apologize for things? How terrible were the things that they did? One of the biggest factors, in my very humble opinion, is whether or not they seem to be making an honest effort to do better, even if that effort is
counterproductive?
That does sound very annoying. Again, it depends.
Yeah, you can't predict these
I guess I know
things.
who
You
I need to
can't.
apologize to.
Oh?
I'm so sorry, Leslie.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's okay. But today we all learned not to.
Thank you, Leslie. Yes, Leslie.
Yeah,
Jr.
bye-bye.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
This is Sanders' side, it's not Odom's side.
Okay, I wasn't expecting
I'm not threatened
that.
at all.
Oh dear.
Thomas, yes? I think I finally understand what my problem has been.
Oh, yeah?
Time. When you were younger, pointing you in the right direction was a little easier. Those examples I gave earlier, don't kill, don't steal, they're not really difficult conclusions to come to.
Even those can get kind of complicated.
I don't want to think about that. But maybe that proves my point. A more mature person comes with more mature moral questions. Like I told you before, sometimes I don't know the way. But when I told you that, you were so scared. I couldn't bear it. So I said to myself, all right, Patton, Thomas needs you. You're responsible for his morality. You can never not have an answer for him.
Yeah, but sometimes there isn't an answer.
And then I promised you I'd keep fighting. Unfortunately, I learned the hard way that giving too simple of answers to complicated questions can do more harm than good. So, I'm sorry. Again.
It's okay, Patton. I know you'll do anything you can to make things right.
Thanks for trusting me still, kiddo. I'm gonna go check on Roman.
Before you go,
Yeah.
I think I understand now what it means. Deceit being here as a part of me.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Talk about me like I'm not here. Yeah. And it's not that I'm an evil liar or even a fractionally fiendish fibber. Everyone has a capacity for deceit, including me. And all that means is I'm not perfect. Just like anyone else. And those
Yeah.
imperfections don't make you any less worthy of love. Janice, I'll take care of him.
Oh.
So, I suppose now we begin compiling a list of people we need to nudge down a flight of stairs until they hold another round of callbacks.
Oh my gosh, no!
Relax, I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding.
I knew he was just going to go straight to that.
No!
The moment
No baby
the others
steps.
left.
No steps! And no throwing people down them. No violence. You're right, of course. There are much less barbaric, much more fun forms of sabotage.
Don't make me regret trusting you. I don't want to be stuck with an evil snake boy.
You're not stuck with an evil snake boy. You're just stuck with a snake boy.
Oh, brother.
But seriously, using a mobile game to hide from your sadness and regret at the wedding doesn't count as leisure time. Take some time for yourself, Thomas.
You're right. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? I couldn't hear you.
You're right. Yes! It feels so good! So good! Oh. And I know how much you love these constant dilemmas, so please, keep overthinking everything. Yeah, I do
No.
need to work on that.
While there is likely more that you can do to put good into the world, you shouldn't beat yourself up over what you can't do, or what you haven't done before. It doesn't help anyone, so don't overthink it. Just try. All you have to do is try your best to be helpful and to do your part, whatever that is, with the understanding that you can never get doing good down to a science. It's gonna look different for everyone. And don't be afraid to give to yourself either. If someone else ever did as much for you as you've probably done for yourself, you would owe them everything. Treat yourself the way you would treat someone who has endlessly labored to give you a better life. or who has always helped you to remain on your feet through the toughest, most emotionally challenging periods of your life. Try to find your balance between doing good for others and doing good for yourself, because finding a universally correct balance between the two is impossible.
Yeah.
And sometimes painful. So just trust yourself. Until next time, take
Aw.
it easy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Peace out.
Oh, yay. Oh? What the hell?
Hey guys.
Sorry, bud.
I forgot, you don't like door yelling.
Nah, no worries. It wasn't so much the yelling as it was people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah, can you actually marry both of us now?
Yes, please. I really want to spend the last 2 pennies in my bank account on a second wedding.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't be tamed. And it looks like you're gonna have to terrify some other more docile bachelor.
Almost had him.
I know. You didn't tell me you guys were coming over. What's up?
Well, we just felt kind of bad because you made it all the way out to our wedding and we barely got to hang out with you.
Oh, what? I barely even noticed.
Really? Because you were
Yeah,
sitting
don't lie.
alone at the reception.
Just trying to take it all in. You know, a lot of mental snapshots. I'm trying to go less digital this year.
But you're on your phone.
I was also taking literal snapshots with my phone. I mean,
Oh my
phones
god.
are barely digital at this point, right?
Totally.
Well, regardless, we thought we'd try to win back your friendship by bribing you with some treats.
What? You guys didn't have to do that.
Mimosas and pastry.
Brunch Tuesdays.
Brunch Tuesday.
Little throwback.
Oh my goodness gracious, it looks like we're gonna make a the mosta this afternoon with some mimosas.
So
That
this
was
is like
awful.
what you do for a living? Comedy?
Yeah, I'm a hack.
Well, are you busy? We can just leave these with you.
Oh no, I was just playing Kingdom Hearts, a game that really centers around the concept of friendship.
Stop
Would you
with the
care to join me?
terrible.
Why would you even
Yeah.
ask us that?
What about us showing up at your door with a bunch of brunch and some booze juice makes you think that we enjoy your company?
Cool, come in. We can also do something else if you don't want to play video games. Well, seems like things worked out after all.
Oh.
Guess I was wrong about everything. You and I both know that's not true.
I think Odom Sides would be cool. Watch Odom Sides. Do what he can do. What is up, everybody?
No, you don't get to join in.
I feel like
Okay.
Okay, so firstly, apologies for the really messy way that this is going to be filmed. For context, my own laptop is essentially a bit broken, so I'm using my dad's laptop, but the video kept buffering at the start, so I've watched the same probably like first minute about 4 or 5 times. So I do apologise, I was quite quiet. I was hoping like things wouldn't break after I've wasted so much time filming this, to be honest. That was a really interesting one. I will be honest, there were some parts where because this was quite a long video, there was some parts where I got a bit confused by what was going on. But I feel like that's the point, is like because Patton can't answer the morality questions and decisions that were there, he got himself a bit confused and a bit muddled. Which is when obviously Deceit came in, and actually a lot of the stuff that he said I agree with, which is a bit weird. I'm agreeing with him for the first time. It was quite nice that he, just like with Virgil, where we saw actually how anxiety and that kind of thing, and like nervousness and fear can be good. It was also interesting to see actually there's Janice, I can now call him, is important. And yeah, like with each decision and with each sort of choice you make, it does depend on the situation. It's not black and white. And this is what Patton was saying at the end, is like when you were younger it was easy to answer these simple morality questions, but as you grew older I tried to keep to those simple answers, but it's not simple as you learn more things and you get more experiences. It's not as black and white anymore. As you grow older you start to see in colour, and that's what Patton was trying to do the entire time, and it just wasn't working. It was getting confusing, everyone's getting muddled. But yeah, I really liked this episode. Also, this is the episode where Janice's name reveal is. So I get why you guys wanted me to watch this one as well, because I did ask at some point, like, oh, have I missed something? Like, have I missed the name reveal? I didn't realise it was this episode. I know that each of their name reveals are all different. I kind of wish Janice's name reveal had had more time to, like, sink in before Roman completely ruined it, but I guess Roman and Janice hate each other, so it kind of made sense as to why Roman immediately started laughing. But I wish they'd had a bit more, that had a bit more time to just sink in, because that was a nice moment as well. And it was nice to have that as a way for Deceit to be like, well, this is how you can trust me. Compared to, like, Remus's name reveal, where it was just like, oh yeah, I don't care. Like, the only one who's had a name reveal that's not, that where he's found it, like, not a big deal is Remus. I also really liked how this was laid out. So they used different video game layouts and genres to explain each different situation. But I really liked that. I thought it was a really interesting way to go about with this video. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I don't really have too much else to say, to be honest. But I'm glad that I did watch this one, because I didn't realise this was the one which had the name reveal. So I think all of them have had name reveals now. Aside from, is it Orange? Because the last video that I reacted to, Logan went weird and had the orange eyes. And you guys have been saying that that's going to be a new character that hasn't been revealed yet. So I'm interested to know where that's going to go. But yeah, so the next video we're going to be reacting to, because this is the only video I'm going to do in this reaction video, because this is quite long. And I'm not going to speak too much now, because again, this is going to be quite a long reaction video as it is. But I think the next one we're doing 2 videos? I think. I can't quite remember. But this was Putting Others First, Selfishness versus Selflessness Redux. Again, the Sound Asides playlist will be in the video description below. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say, and this video is already going to be quite long. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you all soon.